The Isle of Man Tourist Trophy is the most dangerous motorcycle race in the world. Every year, riders race past lampposts, trees and houses on unforgiving roads at speeds of up to 200 miles per hour in search of glory. After Kylotonn developed the first two TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge games, Raceward Studios, now part of Nacon Milan, have taken over the series, the result being TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 3. If you were expecting Ride on the Edge 3 to be a safe sequel with no innovation, prepare for a shock. This is definitely a game for the fans of the TT. I'm Mark from RacingGames, and you've never played a motorbike game like this before. In a surprising change of course, Ride on the Edge 3's career lets you freely ride around a sprawling open world set on the Isle of Man between events. Other bike games like Supercross 6 and MXV's ATV Legends also boast open worlds, but not on this ambitious scale. While the Snaefell Mountain course carries over from Ride on the Edge 2, Raceward has recreated the island's surrounding roads, resulting in 200 kilometers or 124 miles of winding country roads and narrow villages to explore. Running on the last game's KT engine with upgraded lighting and textures, the environment is richly detailed. We didn't encounter any performance or graphical issues on PC, but the PS5 version does suffer from noticeable scenery pop-in, along with occasional slowdown and screen tearing. We're hoping these issues can be fixed in a post-release update. With only 8 circuits, including recreations of historic tracks like the St. John's course that hosted the original 1907 Tourist Trophy, the racing routes can get repetitive after a while, even with 32 layouts. But at 37.73 miles long, the Snaefell Mountain course provides a challenge like no other. It makes the Nordschleife seem like a casual Sunday drive. Before you can tackle the main Tourist Trophy event, you need to work your way up and complete 8 unofficial qualifying and race events. These take the form of either standard or staggered start races, where you try to set the fastest time. Frustratingly, it takes several minutes for staggered start races to begin, as you're forced to wait for every opponent to set off in real time. This creates a sense of build-up, but there's no option to skip this if you're pressed for time, even if you restart. In standard races, AI opponents rarely leave the racing line on default difficulty, and have an annoying habit of braking too early on easier difficulties, causing you to crash into the back of them. The open world gives you the freedom to progress at your own pace. Supersport and Superbike seasons can be run simultaneously, so you don't have to wait for contract offers before you can enter the next class, like in other licensed motorsport game career modes. Compared to the linear menu structure of the last game, cruising around the island is a fun way to practice your skills and prepare for the main Tourist Trophy event, with options to customize the time of day and weather. If you're feeling particularly brave, you can even ride around in the rain when free roaming. If, however, you don't want to explore, mandatory events are always accessible on the map and can be started instantly. Navigation isn't as easy as it could be, as while you can unlock fast travel points once you find them on the map, you can't set waypoints to destinations. As the map fills with activities you've discovered, there's a lot to do outside the main events. But with no traffic or other motorcycle riders to encounter, the open world feels empty when exploring. Even so, Raceward's faithful recreation of the Isle of Man is an impressive feat considering this is the team's first open world game. With an open world to explore, Ride on the Edge 3 is effectively the Forza Horizon of bike games, albeit far less accessible. Beginners can apply an array of assists with 3 preset physics settings: beginner, intermediate and realistic. Helpfully, you can also fine-tune the difficulty further and manually adjust assists such as traction control and anti-wheelie on the fly using the D-pad. With automatic joint brakes and tuck-in enabled, the beginner difficulty makes the bike more stable over bumps, but even on the easiest setting, this is a very tricky game to master. You'll want to avoid curbs at all costs. Clipping a curb, nudging a wall, or braking heavily whilst turning will send you flying off your bike and land in someone's garden. Novice players may find the punishing difficulty too frustrating at first. A rewind function for correcting mistakes and interactive tutorials that teach you basic riding techniques would make Ride on the Edge 3 more welcoming for newcomers to bike racing games, but seasoned Ride on the Edge players will relish the challenge. Realistic settings raise the difficulty significantly, requiring smooth and progressive acceleration and braking to handle bumps without crashing. It's challenging, but rewarding when you finally nail a lap without crashing. Crucially though, controlling the bikes feels intuitive, due to the excellent physics adapted from Raceward's previous title, Rims Racing. Thanks to a better sense of weight, the bikes feel planted and more connected to the road. Alongside the physics, audio design is also a step up. With roaring engines and loud exhaust backfires, these powerful bikes have never sounded better. As you hurtle past houses and narrowly miss trackside objects at 200 miles per hour, the sense of speed is sublime, especially if you use the immersive first-person helmet camera. It all makes for a heart-pounding thrill ride you won't find in any other racing game, and you really have to respect the fearless riders who actually do this for real. If we had to describe TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 3 in a single word, it would be punishing. If you're new to the TT series, be prepared to see your chosen rider ragdoll through the Isle of Man countryside at least once every event. Despite its challenges though, TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 3 is a tough but thrilling experience. Its rich open world is wonderful to explore, and a refreshing change of course for the series. Combined with improved physics, great graphics, and visceral sound, Ride on the Edge 3 is easily the best entry in the series yet. If you aren't already, Ride on the Edge 3 will make you a fan of the iconic Isle of Man TT. Are you looking forward to getting stuck into the Isle of Man TT? Let us know down below, and why not subscribe to the channel while you're there. For now though, thanks for watching. I've been Mark from RacingGames, and we'll see you here on the channel for another video soon.